Hello, friends. Friends, my name is Anjali Gupta. I'm a speaker on entrepreneurial mindset and public speaking. I welcome you all to the Anjali Show. Friends, in this particular show, we invite everyone who's an influencer, entrepreneur, speaker, trainer, coach, consultant, all the professionals, because we would like them to share their message with the entire world, with humanity. Well, in case you are none of these, still you are very much invited because we believe that wisdom does not wait for anybody. Anyone and everyone has wisdom because of their years of experience they have spent in their life. Well, in case you have a message to share with everyone, with the humanity, with the world around you, you are more than welcome to come and join us on the Anjali Show. Today we have an esteemed personality amongst us. His name is Mr. David Nair. Mr. David Nair, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Anjali. Thank you so much.
Okay, friends. So before I invite him to, as we will be asking him certain questions, let me read out his bio to you. He's an author, a keynote international speaker, personal excellence coach and mentor, business strategist, entrepreneur, and a philanthropist. My friends, so many things, so many skills in under just one umbrella. Isn't that phenomenal?
Thank you.
Let me just read out something more about him. He comes with over 2 decades of experience in coaching and mentoring. He has impacted the life of more than 200,000 people across 10 countries, my friends. He has coached and mentored CEOs. He's coached and mentored Tier 1, 2, and 3 senior management in 50 of the top multinational Fortune 500 companies. Some of the corporate houses that David has and is working with in India are Vodafone, Tata Digital Health, KLA Tencor, Renault Nissan, Metropolis Lister, Athena, eBay Royal Bank of Scotland, ServiceNow, and many others. Not only this, my friends, he has also authored 2 books, and the name of his forthcoming books are I Excel, why it is wired for success and is a blueprint for excellence. His second book is Your Why. If you dream big is enough, the facts do not count. This is what he has to say and is talking about in this book. His definite major purpose within the next 3 years is to help create a mindset shift, heart set shift, and a soul set shift in 1 million people and their next generation by improving their lifestyle and thereby leaving behind a legacy for others to follow. How many of us, friends, really think of leaving behind a legacy? Well, all those who come on the Anjali show, they definitely think of leaving behind a legacy behind them because life is worth living. Life is worth living not only for your own self, your family members, but it is also worth living for the people around you, for the humanity, and for the entire world. We just cannot go with the treasure that we have, that God has gifted us with in our grave. No ways, my friends. So here we have Mr. David Nair. And David, let me
Thank you.
once again welcome to my show. And we would like to have a brief about you, David, besides what I have already shared. And tell us about your deciding to work and come in. What is it that you would like to give in India? And you're working in India. So just tell us a little more about it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anjali. I really appreciate you welcoming me to talk in this show. One of the key things I came into India, I still live in Australia, Brisbane, Australia. I'm
Okay.
born in Malaysia of Indian parents, got kicked out. I use the term got kicked out at the age of 14 and a half because I was one of the most shy little kid who used to hang around behind my mother's petticoat. Never would I get out. But that same kid at 14 and a half, I want people to know this, when you have all of us have got the power inside of us. At 14 and a half, that was the state I was in. 6.5 years ago, I addressed an open air stadium in North India,
Okay.
45,000 people.
Wow.
So that's the transformation. And
Yes.
why I'm saying that is not to boast. I want people to understand if you work on yourself, ladies and gentlemen, the power is unlimited. and you got to know what to do. I was fortunate enough at the age of 14 and a half, 14 to be in Australia. At that age, I never transformed. I was still a shy boy, though I moved from one location to another. But the key thing that happened to me was I had the guidance of a lot of teachers there who coaxed me into going and mixing with people.
Oh,
I attached myself to a guardian. I call him my adopted dad. Not that my parents didn't give me everything, they gave me everything, including sending me to Australia. But my adopted dad stepped me up into the next echelon of thinking and working. He
oh,
was a businessman. He opened his house to me. I would go there every weekend and I learned from him. At the age of 14 and a half, business was the way I had to go, though both my parents were in the medical profession. In that mindset, I began to then think, how can I get and do businesses? So this Uncle John, I call him, taught me at the age of 15, 15 and a half to start my own business in spite of going to college.
yeah,
Okay.
very,
Yes. So at 15 and a half, I started what I call, which all of us would sort of frown at, a lawn mowing business. Cutting
oh,
grass,
yeah,
cutting grass,
yes, yes.
washing pots and pans in restaurants. At the age
Oh,
of 15, my parents never knew about it. Why? Because I had an aspiration. I wanted to come up in life. They gave me food, they gave me shelter, they gave me education. But the key thing I wanted was my own money to start investing. Uncle John taught me how to become a financial independent person from that age to about 33, 34 when I retired from the working career.
oh,
Because I had a coach.
yes.
I had a coach. And I want people to understand this. If you hang around the right people, you will be surprised how much you get benefited from. That's a saying. You hang around yeast, you become a yee. You hang around a butterfly, you become a butterfly. So why don't you do that? And this is what I encourage all of my participants and all of the people that I hang out with. That was my guidance towards financial independence. Obviously, parents want us to get an education. So I continued my education. I became a CPA, certified practicing accountant. And
Okay.
so I'm also a certified practicing accountant. And I joined an oil and gas company who allowed me to lock on to another guru, I call him, my second mentor, who was my career mentor. So by
Okay.
the time I was 25, this guy showed me how I could climb up the corporate ladder. And I was the youngest vice president for the oil and gas company from Shanghai, China, all the way down to Australia at the age of 25.
Oh, wow. That is
Now, this never
phenomenal.
happened. This never happened because of me. It happened because I had some very good people around, some very good coaches. And they were the ones that showed me how to come up in life, in addition to my parents, obviously. Now the rest is history. From there, I decided, okay, I'm financially independent, got a good family. I want to do something. Dad told me, why don't you just give money rather than going to India? Because when I told him I wanted to go to India, he said, why? Because we came out of India. So 98 was my first trip into India. And in the first 2.5 weeks, all I did was scout around India from my first talk in a Rotary Club in Chandigarh. I
Okay.
moved from Chandigarh to Delhi to Dehradun to Calcutta to Vizag, and this was done in 21 days. I did that circuit, talking in
Oh,
Rotary clubs. I was a traveling salesman in 2 bags.
right. I
All I did.
understand.
See, most
Yeah.
people say there's no opportunity. There is opportunity in front of your nose. All you got to do is see. And if you are out there and you're listening to YouTube, I would suggest you get into my channel. In the YouTube channel, one of the videos I put out is See Beyond Sea,
Okay.
which is what my coaches taught me. You just don't see what is in front of you. You look beyond it, because visionarians are priceless. Administrators are cheap to keep. Now you have to see beyond your challenge, see beyond what you have, to ensure you can come up in life. If you hang around the right people, that's what happens. So I began to do that. And as part of that, travel around talking to Rotary clubs. Who do attend Rotary Club meetings? They are mainly CEOs, top managers, top business people, and entrepreneurs. They were lucky and they were happy to see what I was doing. They suggested I come into their companies, their organizations, and help coach their people. And that's how I started my coaching and training business in India.
Okay.
So I came with nothing
Hmm.
to India. Okay. So today I have a portfolio of about 50 plus companies, all because I took the guts.
Yeah.
And I use this term guts, and I spell it this way: Guts. The
Okay.
genuine urge to succeed. Guts.
Oh, genuine urge to succeed.
Now, if you have guts in your belly, and in South India they say, Pasi irunda, if you're hungry, you can come up in life. So if you're hungry, you can come up in life. And this is the keynote that I'm trying to get people to understand. Now, following that, I did 20 years of working in corporates. I got into another coach. And by the way, I have 14 coaches who got me to where I am. I didn't get it by myself. You see,
Right.
that's what I keep telling people. I need coaches and I believe in having coaches. So the 14th coach taught me to come out of being a trainer into writing books, traveling, talking, keynote speaking. And that's how the whole paradigm opened up.
Wow, that is wonderful. So my takeaway from this thing is your gut, genuine urge to succeed. I'm sure, friends, all my viewers, you
Exactly.
must take a note of this guts acronym because it is going to help you really a lot. The genuine urge to succeed has to be there inside us, which is going to take us wherever we would like to be, to our destination. And this is something that we all urge for.
Thank
Okay,
you.
my second question to you, David, is how have you found our entrepreneurs, business community, leaders, employees mindset when it comes to being at the cutting edge of excellence in performance?
Okay, I have some authority in that because I've been working in the last 2.5 decades with leadership of our country in different companies. Now, they are excellent. I must say they're excellent in their domain expertise.
Mhm.
Okay, because we are very specialist in how we groom our kids and how they come up from universities. Now, one of the key things I've found is they, in that domain expertise, they have this tunnel vision of doing their best. You take them out of that, they're lost. Okay, they're lost. Now,
Okay.
what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? The IQ, the intelligence quotient is very high in that area of domain expertise. But where they lack is the emotional quotient, the understanding the nuances of interaction, understanding the nuances of how to build rapport, understanding the nuances of what it takes and what it does not take to actually interact, negotiate, and close on a deal. Why do I say that? Because a lot of these top companies actually hire my company and my people and myself to go into their organizations and teach them, groom them before they travel abroad. We call that cross culture sensitization.
Right.
Before they send an executive, even a CEO from here to a foreign country, they are actually wanting them to be groomed so they can have some understanding of the foreign culture and can connect very easily and thereby bring the information back into our country. Okay,
Yep.
so they spend the time for that. And in that course of doing that, I can tell you reams of stories, real life stories of how some of them could not do certain things. But once they mastered, because the technical skill is high, once they mastered the EQ component, my God, they flew like they soared like an eagle. But our education system does not provide for the EQ absorption. That has to be done standalone by companies or by individuals. And today, a lot of them are exposed to this. So they're going out and they're reaching out on their own to acquire this extra, call it habit or extra knowledge, such that, and I'm using another acronym here, such that they can improve their luck. Now, I'm going to ask you, how do you spell luck from where you come from, Anjali?
LUCK.
Wow, that is labor under correct knowledge.
Oh, wow.
So now most of us are good, and and I found the ones that we trained and got into this EQ mindset. What happened is when they went abroad, they spiraled up the ladder faster because their interactive skills are up, their rapport building skills are up, they were enthusiastic, they weren't the bore old little guy who was behind the IT, laptop or whatever they're doing. They were enthused about wanting to come up in life.
Right.
And that's exactly what Henry Ford did. Henry Ford, the founder of our automobile industry, not the founder of Ford Company, the founder of our automobile industry, made this one request of his team. If you look back, before Henry Ford invented the first car,
Mhm.
there were no cars out in the road.
Right.
Hence, if you're looking for an expert as a mechanic, there was none in the road. If you're looking for an auto electrician, there was none in the road. Now, his requirement to select employees was this. He said, give me one person with enthusiasm and I will deliver an empire.
Right.
He did. He delivered the automobile empire. His
Yes.
whole selection force was just enthusiastic people who had the eagerness to learn. That's why I keep saying, people, you have the potential inside of you. You just need somebody to tweak it for you, right? And you can see it. Now, the last 3 days, I've been working from here with Zoom calls into Dubai and to South Africa, doing the same thing that I'm doing here, Anjali, with you. And most of them are coming up and saying, David, why don't we have this in our country?
Actually, yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, of course.
It's as simple as cooking rice. Pour some water, pour some rice, and boil it.
But in the correct measure.
Thank you very much. Otherwise, you get a porridge.
Yes, of course.
Exactly, actually. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. Wonderful. So what's the remedy to step up this game?
Very simple. That's exactly what I touched on earlier. Each individual have to sit down and look at where they are in life.
Okay.
And be very honest with themselves. And I'm going to use, I beg your forgiveness, I'm going to probably use a little bit of a bad word here. Do not BS themselves in this fraternity. Meaning, like what they would always bluff their way through, do not do that. Take a reality stock take. When you take a reality stock take, you then will understand there is a lot of strengths and there are a lot of weaknesses.
Yes.
Identify it. And then go through the process of sourcing some guidance and help from people who are the experts. Do not try to fix it yourself.
Okay.
Now, why do I say that? If you had a heart issue, let me ask you a question. If you had a heart issue, touch wood, we don't. If we had a heart issue, who would we go and see?
I would definitely go to, or anyone would definitely go to a heart specialist.
A cardiologist, a heart specialist. You would not go to a driver or a taxi man or a person on the street and say, hey, listen, man, I've got a heart problem. Can you cut my chest up and have a look at it? You won't do that, right?
Right.
Now what happens with us? What happens with us is, that is with our health. What happens with us is, when it comes to us realizing what I just explained earlier, we are happy to go and ask our closest friend, our closest neighbor, and say, hey, listen, mine, I have a problem with my finance. I need to have another 10,000. Can you figure it out how I can do it? Now, if that individual is a friend of yours, most of the friends are of the same tier level.
Right.
In not just intelligence, but in earning capacity and all of that. So if you are earning, let's say $100,000, 100,000 rupees, I should say, 1 lakh rupees, your friend would obviously be earning the same sort of money. Now, can he teach you how to make 10 lakhs?
No.
Exactly. And that's the point I'm trying to get people to understand. Go find a person who's making 10 lakhs and source his advice, like we source the advice of a cardiologist.
Yes.
And that's the point I'm making to people. Find a person who has got more experience, source his help, and role model that person. So the whole process here is for us to identify our weaknesses and then role model that with people that we can connect with and build rapport and learn from them.
Right.
Sometimes you have to pay for it, like anything. Pay for it, because that knowledge has been acquired by that individual over a long period of time, and he needs to be remunerated for whatever it is, whether it's in the form of a coach or whoever. So take stock of it. Knowledge is power, but the application of knowledge is what makes you wealthy.
Very true. You're absolutely right. So I just come up with my next question, David. I would like to know, okay, we are ready to pay the money. We are ready to hire someone who's really good and would be able to make us reach our destination. But the question remains, which is one common question. How do we look out for these people? We have some
Excellent.
known names, but then
Yes.
there are so many other coaches, trainers, consultants who keep on just orchestrating that we are the best and we do not know where to go. We are in front of so many people and
Right.
all of them say we are good.
Let,
How do we figure
I,
this out?
I
How do we
fully,
figure out the right
yeah.
coach?
I fully concur with you on this, especially since March the 22nd or 23rd when we got this lockdown, okay?
Yeah.
Not only here, but around the globe. Everybody has fluxed into these online webinars and online coaching and online this. Now, the job of the individual looking for that knowledge, like you would go before you select a washing machine or before you select a car, you would do an assessment on it.
Right.
You would go to an electrical shop, check out, you'll check with some of your peers, friends, what sort of washing machine is good, and do a reality test on it. And then you will go and look at which is good for you based on your need. Do
Yes.
not go beyond your need, based on your need. The same analysis needs to be done here.
Okay.
And the way to do that is very simple. Scout around for 4 or 5 of these people, explain and see what they come out and approach you with. Some of them don't go to the scrutiny of checking what your need is. They will come and say, I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. And what they're trying to do is put a round peg in a square hole.
Ah, yes, absolutely. This is what happens.
Exactly. And it'll never fit. So the reality test of that is not the coach, is you. You are now selecting the coach. So when you have predefined your needs, you then wait to see what he says. And if it fulfills need 1, need 3, need 7, you tick it.
Okay.
Check with the second person. Check with the third person. That way, go through 5 of these guys and you'll be able to siphon out. Sometimes you can get rid of all 5 of them and find another batch of 5.
Oh,
Or you might find 1 out of the 5. Not every man is an expert. I'm not saying I'm an expert in all areas of coaching. I know I'm good. In fact, I'm excellent, but I'm only domain expertise in certain areas that I want to make sure I can fulfill the job. I don't want the world. I have an objective, 1 million people, and that's whom I'm working with. And I only work with people that I connect with, I have a rapport with. So a lot of my clients, I have not accepted them because on day 1 itself, I knew chemistry was not right.
right.
So if your chemistry with your coach is not right, you just reject it. Don't take it on. Does that make sense?
Of course it does. Now, guys, my viewers, my dear viewers, you know whom to reach out and what is the way to look out for the right coach. I know we are like surrounded with so many coaches every now and then, whether we are a trainer, speaker, coach, consultant, we're surrounded by so many of these people and we do not know where to look to. Everybody is approaching us with the one product or the second product, one service or the second service. Now, David has given us an insight, and I really believe which I would be personally following this for myself. And of course, who is the other person to go to? We have David with us himself. You have been listening to him. You must have understood what he intends to do when he would like to influence the lives of so many people. You can also be one of them. I thank you so much, David, for coming on our show, sharing your views with us, my dear friends. Once again, in case you would like to reach out to us, you can reach out to us on theanjalishow@gmail.com, whether you are an entrepreneur, influencer, professional, speaker, trainer, coach, consultant. You can also reach out to us on our WhatsApp phone number, which is 9717800032. I repeat, 9717800032. My email ID is theanjalishow@gmail.com. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also connect with us on our Facebook group, which is The Anjali Show. So what is it that you have to do? You have to simply log into your Facebook account, type in The Anjali Show there, and our group is just going to pop up. Send us a request to join us, join our group, and then we would be including you into our group, and you will keep on having regular updates there. I once again would like to thank David for his presence and the wonderful share that he has shared with us today. Thank you so much, David, once again.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Anjali, to have me on board.
All
Guys, have a
right.
fantastic week and happy Diwali too.
Oh, thank you. Same to you. We reciprocate the same.
Thank you. Bye bye now.
Bye.